This pictogram is, of course, a shitty triangle that I've drawn in under a minute. Um, but it's also a visual aid for what I'm about to talk about. And I've had this conversation with other tradesmen. And when you think about it, a tradesman is at the very center of what everybody else wants. Everybody else that doesn't have a skill, in other words, they don't have any hands-on tactile dexterity, relies on someone that does, whether that be directly or indirectly. So I've broken this down into a pyramid or a triangle for a few reasons. One of them is because I wanted to make a reference to Control, which is a video game from, I think it's about like 6 years ago, that I'm really enjoying right now. And it has themes having to do with triangles and pyramids and the paranormal and stuff like that. But that's not what I'm referring to here. What I'm referring to here is the levels at which someone becomes an expert in their chosen field. So this is how I break it down. So at the bottom, right, there's other terminology for this. It's called the apprentice at the bottom, the job, learn how to do the job. The journeyman, which is the one tier next up towards getting your red seal or whatever it is for those kinds of people. Aircraft mechanics don't fall within red seal trades. We have something of our own. And then next is the, say, like the certified guy, and then at the top is the master, or the engineering technician. So the engineer knows and understands not only the theory but also the application, and then also how to deal with people. You could arguably insert another category between the information, or actually in between the people and the job, the technology. That's something that could be put somewhere, inserted into this triangle somewhere in there. I thought about it, but this is more simplified. But again, the top of the pyramid is the information, because if you don't have control of the information, then you don't have control of the money, and then you don't have control of the people, so then you don't have control of the job. All right, and inverse, so in that at the top of the pyramid, right, the very tippy top, is inhabited by a very few select people, because if there's too many people at the top controlling the information, then no one has any money, and then there's no people to do the job, right? And again, as I said, inversely, if there's too many people to do the job, there's no money, and then the information gets lost with the telephone game. So if you're following along with me, you can see how this hierarchy, this pyramid really works. And why even bother making this video? I think the point is that once you get to the top and you're controlling the information, no one wants to give you the money anymore. because you know something, um, and then people don't want to work for the money because you give them. I don't know. I'm gonna cut it off here before I start sounding like I'm going down a silly rabbit hole. Um, yeah, yeah. Let's stop it there. I couldn't sleep. I just thought this was really interesting to think about.